you keep the inserts, right?
Every last one of you's got a twinkle in your eyes. I can't stand it. They aren't the eyes of those who fight for a living. I get it. He's what does it. He's the precious kid's toy. You guys must be so happy you don't know a damn thing. Your precious toy was broken a long time ago. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Comics Corner. I'm Mike, here with Johnny.
Were we live?
It would appear so.
Was that what the countdown was for?
That was.
Was that what you told me we were going live was for?
Yeah, I know it's been a while, Johnny. We didn't have a stream no, we did have a stream last week.
No, we didn't have a stream
Tuesday
next
streams.
week yet.
Yet. That's
Well, we will. Actually, as a matter of fact, next Tuesday will be previews reviews.
It will.
I don't know if you knew that or not.
I did.
I just found out today. Yesterday.
Once a month, it seems. Usually the last week of the month, they send out the previews magazines, and we review them, which is what we'll be doing. But in the meantime, we are reviewing Berserk, volumes 10 through 12. So this is the deluxe edition, volume 4, that Dark Horse puts out.
Probably the best book in terms of book quality.
Yeah, it's good book quality. That faux leather. I love the
size is right.
The brand of sacrifice that they've.
See, it's ironic because we look at it and go, "Oh, it's normal size," but this is from manga, so it's actually oversized for manga.
Yeah, so if you want big boy mangas.
So and also, I figured we got to stretch the spine of this because this is going to be this book's first official opening.
Sure.
So I thought we'd just do it on stream
yeah.
just in case anybody doesn't know about that. When you get a thick, oversized hardcover like this, you're going to want to stretch the spine upon first and potentially second openings. So to do that, ooh.
Some glue.
Yeah, you want to crack the glue, right? You know, give it. Oh God.
Spoilers for the last.
Oh yeah, try not to look at the pictures.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you do look at the pictures, try not to understand what's going on.
That's the best is when I'm doing the same thing at home too. Just kind of like, I'm not looking at this. I'm not seeing this.
But do you do that while you're reading it? Because that seems kind of.
I do that as well too. I just show up to the to every week when we do the book review, and I just pretend that I read it because I just stretch the spine of the book, and I didn't want to. I caught glimpses of it.
That's amazing that you don't read it and then you memorize those quotes that you write down.
The nice thing is that you get to see what happens at the end in the very beginning, and it kind of meets in the middle, and then you're like, oh, okay, that's what's going on.
You kind of piece together a story. It's like a Tarantino.
Exactly.
It's like a Tarantino. What's your favorite M&M?
The green one.
Okay, but what about your favorite Tarantino movie?
The one with Mr. Green in it, Reservoir Dogs.
What color are your socks today, Michael?
You know the answer is green.
It's true. I saw
green and black. Yeah, exactly.
We were talking about shoelaces earlier, and I happened to get a glimpse of Mikey's sock. Ah, there we go. Nice. Dang, dude, you're showing some. He's stepping on stuff. Was that a Bed Bath & Beyond bag? I could tell by the crunch. Was it?
There's no way of knowing.
I mean, Bath & Body Works.
Bath & Body Works. Yeah.
That's what I meant. Sometimes I get those two confused because they almost sound alike, kind of.
They do.
Well, they just got a bunch of the same letters. They don't even really have the same word.
Baths.
Yeah. So yeah, you just want to like relax the spine of the book down both sides once or twice when you open it. That's going to help create an eye in the ribbon of the book, which we'll show you as soon as I'm done here. Almost done. And this helps
in this book, by the way.
This helps the longevity of the book, to be honest, and keeps it opening properly throughout the duration of its existence.
I mean, then you don't have to deal with any problems with the glue, because that's what it all comes down to, right? Of you don't want to like snap any of the pages off because you opened it improperly. So.
Well, and the spine can collapse inward.
Yeah. Which makes.
Oh wait, you know what the funny part is? I was totally thinking of this like an American book and not remembering that the end is actually at this end.
So you read it the opposite way.
This time.
You read it Tarantino-wise, of you know what happens at the end, and then you're working your way back to. Guts is okay. He's just at a waterfall. He'll be fine.
Wow.
In the meantime, while you're doing some stretching, Johnny, what did you think of book deluxe edition volume 4, which contains?
I'm always more intrigued about what you think because I've read.
I was gonna say, yeah, you know what happens.
And so, I'm actually okay. I was thinking about this. The show, and I've talked about this before. The show basically covers books 2 through part of 5. So we're almost towards what would be the end of the show, and that was my first introduction to
because I know
Berserk.
Because the first book, like we get to see like Guts, like 5 years or whatever in the future, and then like it jumps back to his early, just mercenary work, Band of the Hawks, even before then too. But yeah, we're now getting to the titular, the eclipse that we've alluded to,
We got
has
some
been
eye
alluded
going
to.
on there. Did you guys see that?
So
See
move
that
it back
eye?
a little bit.
See how it well, I can't really see it. It's good though.
Line it
Trust
up.
me.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, we're good. All right, so this book's ready to be open, Berserk style. So yeah, what do I think about it? I mean, 10 out of 10. I think this whole series is so good, and every time we do one of these, even if I'm, you know, experiencing this portion of the story for the third or fourth time, and definitely rereading it for the second or third time,
Yeah.
it's still just as amazing, and like, it makes me feel things. Like, that's the thing about this series. Like, it's weird. It makes me uncomfortable. Like, the visuals are grotesque, but like it's almost like a juxtaposition because it's so beautifully drawn.
Yeah, yeah. It's
But
a lot
it's
of
like
detail.
grotesque images, and it's like weird, like how extremely detailed, like the death and gore.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's nothing new to the series, but I feel like in this book specifically, between the stuff that happens in the eclipse and some of the what is it, the black dogs that they fight, there's a lot of violent imagery going on in this book especially. So
You know what's
highly
I mean,
detailed, too.
we'll talk about it eventually. We'll get there, but I mean, spoilers right now. When the Myad, I think is his name, the leader of the Black Dogs.
Wild, isn't that his name?
Oh yeah, it is.
Uh-huh.
It's just spelled with a
Exactly, with a
Y.
Y, yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking W. I guess dyslexia or something.
Mm-hmm.
There with
You
the
flipped
M.
them, yeah. It happens.
So anyways, when he like kills and rapes that girl, or rapes and then kills her, I don't know the order. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, at that point,
It's you know, you see, not like, I mean, it's not like super vivid in that regard, but like you very clearly know what happens.
Yeah.
And like every time I've seen that scene, I'm just like, God damn, dude. Like, but it's believable. That's the thing. It's like it's this real fucked up world, man, and it's
especially
Berserk.
before it came out. Like, it was late '80s. Like, the series started in '88, so like we're a few books in now. So I'm sure, you know, like early '90s ish. Like, you know, something for that at the time. You know, that you get in from Japan, I'm sure would be wild for people getting it, you know, reading it live. Which, by the way, we mentioned too. Kintaro is planning on continuing the series soon too.
Yeah, that did get announced recently. Hold on, let's see. I think is it book 40 that's going to be coming out. Whoop! There goes my killing weapon. Whoop! There goes my killing weapon again. My Dragon Slayer.
Exactly. Yeah. It's hardly a sword at all. It's something wrought of iron, too big to be called a sword.
Yeah, but it had some tape on it.
Think that ever happened to Guts too?
Got tape on his sword.
It happens, man. But yeah, I mean, it would be awesome if we could catch up to it in time, but I know we won't because right now our delay is we're waiting for the Dark Horse Deluxe editions to come out in time. But like we get one now, it's at a clip of like every 2 months. I feel like, right?
No, I think it's 3 a year, so I think it's one every 4 months actually.
Jeez, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
'cause
well,
we're getting one. The next one is number 7, which
7.
comes out in March, which is why we read this today because then book 6 we'll do in.
yeah, basically when it comes
February.
out, yeah, because it'll.
Yeah, but you're right because even book 7 is only going to get us to chapter like 18,
Yeah,
so that's not even halfway through where they actually are.
21. It's 3 books deluxe, right?
Yeah, so if this ends us on 12, we're gonna get 7's gonna go. Oh shit! Yeah, sorry, I'm
No worries.
going off of here. Yeah.
But yeah, like the plan is to try and keep up with those two because it's just a lot of fun. Like if you want to flip it to the side again, like there's like 600 pages in every one of these deluxe editions, but they, you know,
You just go.
you
just
read that
breeze
in
through
like
'em.
an hour and a half. You know,
Yeah.
depends on you know.
I
how
actually
quick
thought
you
this
go.
one was a little more dialogue heavy than the last. So wait, volume
about that.
40 came out. Well, I'm allowed to think differently. Volume 40 came out on October 8th, 2019.
Yeah,
And
jeez.
41. It looks like what the hell's going on here? It looks like that's available online. Trying to find out what
yeah,
the
no
next
worries.
actual one is.
But yeah. So like it, I just I like the idea of us being able to keep up with the Berserks as they're coming out too, because I don't know.
Oh my god, you're never gonna believe this.
Try me.
Guess when the next chapter comes out?
It's August 14th.
No.
Oh, the next chapter. Oh, I see what you're saying. I have no clue.
Literally tomorrow. January 22nd,
All right.
2021.
So we get to slam through the next like 30 books and catch up with that. But no, it's awesome. Like I know that like for people who have read Berserk and the fact that he was on hiatus for like decade plus, like 2 decades, was a bummer for a lot of people. But I don't know. It's cool to kind of catch up to now because even though I've known about it, I never really knew a lot of the spoiler stuff, and we definitely get one of the big events at the end of this book. So
yeah, you know what's crazy though is we're still not even into the fucked up shit.
Yeah. I mean, like, but we definitely get a taste of what Griffith is willing to do to continue his dream. So, I guess John, you want to start popping into it?
Yeah, I'm just looking up Kentaro Miura stuff now. I'm gonna do a deep dive tonight on Berserk, I think.
Yeah,
all right, so, you've pointed this out. The last book kind of leaves off at a weird spot, but I mean, it's where the chapters are broken, so it is what it is. God damn, are these books beautiful? They are just the best. Printed in China, huh?
Yeah. You want to scooch that up a little?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Is that good?
Here, let me. As great of a pun, Days of Future Pastimes is. Let me. Gotta give respect. Oh, also, by the way, spoilers.
There's a lot of nudity in this one.
Nudity, a lot of violence as always.
Yeah, it's all in top half nudity though. If that matters to anybody, it's.
There's a bit of lower. Female lower.
I mean, it's not very detailed compared to the rest of the book. I thought those.
No, I know.
I thought those were left a little ambiguous. To be, I think the most. Whatever, we'll get there with the wild dude when he's. Yeah. Wait, which one are you talking? I think I'm talking about a different scene. What scene are you talking?
Well, I mean, there's first and later Wild.
What's the first one?
There's regular Wild when we first get introduced to him.
That's the one I'm thinking.
And then there's.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking. All right, so
Wild. But yeah, so this book picks up from at the end of last one where it was Casca and Guts, and they were kind of still under the waterfall, just kind of spending some time together after they like left camp.
Yeah, because they reconvened and they're gonna rescue Griffith. This is all after. I'm telling you, at one point we gotta do like a solid like. We read 3 of these books and review them to like get the, because then it's all fresher. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, I feel
like every time we've read it, it takes a few pages for me to be like, oh, that's where we are, right? Okay. So, but it does give us spoilers for you. Like this ends up being an important flashback. Do you know about this?
He's getting his sword made. The
right.
Dragon Slayer.
Okay. So you got that part of it. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's meant for you to know anything at the first read through, but like later. I do know something will happen later on, probably in the next book, that you're going to be like, oh, wow, that scene. So he tells Casca this story about when he was off on his own. He basically was hanging out with this family of like a father and daughter out in the wilderness, and the father was a blacksmith and would forge and fix his sword, like his Dragon Slayer sword. And so that's a lot of what this is like the flashback to that and him explaining that story.
Something, I am on my own. I've got to forge ahead, make my own destiny.
Right,
I am the sword.
And the guy tells this story about how like he doesn't even know if he likes being a blacksmith. It's just all he's ever known, and it's supposed to be like an analogy for Guts because like all he's ever known is the sword.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Right, fighting demons. So and Casca and him are basically just all about each other now. Like they finally gave into their feelings. It was like obvious from the get-go.
And because Guts is talking about how he's gonna have to leave the band behind at some point and take Casca. She wants to be taken with him.
Right.
And he agrees for now.
Okay, so I just want to run over this real quick. Okay. The books opened from book 1. It opens in this crazy demon-filled world, and then like it kind of goes back to like reality where there's like
lower fantasies, like low fantasies.
And we get a little bit of like the Nosferatu Zod, which is probably the craziest thing up until this book, and then you're kind of like, wow, whatever happened to those demons that were going on? And you got to remember too that was written in like present day, and this is all a flashback. That's why we got to read them all at once.
Yeah.
So I love this, man. This panel here. This is what I'm saying, man. This is one of those that just makes me feel things. Like during their art, they're having their little discussion. They were off in the woods, and then we just get 3 days prior in the dense forest along the Midland border, an extraordinary event took place. And we just see these like village people hanging out in the woods.
Some foresters that notice on the horizon some weird snake man monster above the canopy.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this at last stream too, but I'll say it again. when I read the last book, I just kept, I was getting too into it, so I just kept going forward, and I read this chapter, and I stopped there. But I was like, I think that the last book definitely should have ended with that scene
100%.
of. I mean, one, we get like a little bit more conclusion with the Casca gut stuff, but also ending on that scene of like reminding you, oh shit, that's right, there's huge demons and like the supernatural elements, and I think it's just a better cliffhanger. I mean, it's small gripe.
No, I think it's a very legitimate point for every reason you said, because I do remember us both agreeing with the last one that it ends very lackluster.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's kind of like in the middle of a story, and then you just get the last. But it's not some like cliffhanger story. It's it's like as if you just caught off a conversation in the middle of the conversation.
And then they wrap it up, and then we see, oh crap, that's right, sweet demons. So
yeah. So, anyways, what the hell's there a big snake demon doing? So
we'll have to find out, man.
Right. Then we get some little like Griffith stuff of like him having a flashback of like his childhood.
Yeah, he's going over like him as a kid, like growing up in the gutters and the streets, and his grand dream was, you know, he saw this castle on the horizon, and he wanted to be part of it. He wanted to, you know, be the king of that castle, you know, like to rule over this domain.
And then it cuts back to reality again, him in his cell.
Yeah, where he's tortured for a year at this point.
Right, and as he's there, like the bricks in the walls start to fall out, and these creepy little demon things poke out, and they just tell him that they seek an audience with him, and then he looks in there, and we see.
Yeah, through the tunnel that like.
It's like the silhouettes of the God Hand that we were introduced to in the very first book.
In the weird MC Escher world, though. Yeah, in the first book too. Again, we get to step inside there, but back to.
Yeah, so we're just getting these little tidbits.
Exactly.
So cuts back to them going over their plan to break into Midland Tower to rescue Guts. And so they're going to break up into two groups. One of them is going to basically wait in the forest in case they need backup, and the other one is going to go in gung-ho and rescue, because they got somebody in on the inside who's giving them information about where to go. So they end up going to this graveyard where there's a secret passage. They go through this grave.
It's like on the outskirts of town.
Which is cool. I like this. And you see them going through, and we find out that the Confidant, they get to the end of the tunnel in the grave. That's like the secret tunnel to get to the tower. And the Confidant is the princess, who, if we remember, was in love with Griffith. Yeah. And then the night Guts beat him in a sword fight and left, Griffith just kind of like went nuts and went and like slept with the princess.
Yeah.
And then
like promised that they'd be together forever to some degree, and like.
Right, and that's why the Midland Army turned on Griffith after he was the hero, if anybody forgot.
God, yeah, there's all the stuff with their dad too. That was
which they don't let you forget about in here. So she's the Confidant, and she's just infatuated with Griffith. Yeah. So everything that she's doing is for him. Like, she wants him to be safe. So
she's getting some degree of guilt too, you know, knowing that, like, you know, he's being held up prisoner. She wants to, you know, help free him.
And we find out that he is in the very bottom of the Midland Tower, and then there's like a whole lore to the tower that they go over, which doesn't really. Oh, it does play into something actually, because in the lore, which we'll get to in a second. I guess we'll just wait till we get. Yeah. Well, the what?
The leader guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I forgot that that's important. Actually, you know, I haven't gotten to the point of the story yet where they conclude or where they give you more about that, so I'm still on the edge of my seat for what the hell they were talking about. Dude, this is the most dynamite artwork.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I needed that deluxe edition.
These are the best books. Dude, do you know where you can get these books?
Pastimes.
Yeah, do you know where that's located?
You know, I think it's inside some mall off of Greenwood.
Well, more precisely, Pastimes Comics and Games, located at Entrance of Golf Mill Mall at the intersection of Greenwood and Golf Road in Niles, Illinois. This Pastimes Comics and Games, located at Entrance of Golf Mill Mall at the intersection of Greenwood and Golf Road in Niles, Illinois. Damn it, stumbled over Greenwood.
It's okay. It's also, we have books 1 through 6, so we've got all.
We do have books 1 through 6, and we also have 2 more copies of number 3. So if you're missing number 3, we got that, and we just ordered some more 4s and 5s. We ordered 1s and 2s, but I'm a little less confident that we'll get those.
Yeah.
They will eventually come, but I have an inkling we'll get 4s and 5s first.
It goes in waves of how available they are, but I mean, these ones, like you've said before, are going to be evergreen. They're always going to be in print. It's just a matter of
6 is out of print as hell right now. It's
Yeah.
got that red circle. You can't, or was it purple? It
Yeah,
might
yeah.
have just been purple.
But it's gonna come
Purple's
back
not good.
eventually. Yeah, you hate to see.
We have a
purple.
color system that we
You
use
want to
with
see? Want
diamond.
to see green? Yellow's okay. Purple
Yeah,
is.
depends. Yellow might. Yeah, yellow is a crapshoot.
Yeah, exactly. But purple is basically nah, man.
Yeah, I haven't gotten any purples. And then the red circle is just like this never existed. And you're like, but the
Exactly, yeah.
picture's right there.
That's all you get, kid.
Well, because sometimes they do have. Actually, this is ironic because sometimes they have solicits for stuff that ends up getting canceled. So actually, the red circle it does mean it didn't exist, even though there's a picture. So,
There you go.
like
Fun facts.
like Batman Shaman.
What's that?
Actually, this was the first. No, it's a good little Johnny
Yeah, I'm
Secrets.
listening,
Yeah. All right. This is the very first time that DC ever broke my heart. This is when I found out that DC has a problem with soliciting things and then canceling them, which they're notorious for. I found this out the hard way. So I saw this was years ago on Amazon. They had a solicit for 8 months ahead of time of a trade paperback called Batman Shaman, which Shaman is the first story arc of the Legends of the Dark Knight series, which started in 1989, and the way the series ran was it was 5-part story arcs.
Okay.
So the first 5 issues were Shaman. The second 5 issues are Gothic, the Grant Morrison
Hell yeah,
one.
yeah.
That's issues 6 through 10. And then the third one is Venom. So they solicited this trade paperback, which included the first 20 issues. Okay? And I had issues 6 through 20 in 3 other trade paperbacks. And the first one, Shaman, which contained issues 1 through 5, is impossible to find. It's like a $70 book. So I'm like, oh, they're reprinting this. It has all of them.
Exactly, yeah.
So I sold off. Yup, I sold off the Gothic, Prey, and Venom books. And then wouldn't you know it, that thing got canceled. And I've only gotten Venom back. I have Gothic. I have Venom and Gothic. So I still need Prey, and I've still never gotten Shaman.
That's a bummer.
Super bummer. So, moral of the story is, Dark Horse keeps their books in stock. They make great quality books. They're oversized hardcovers, and the price point is on point.
Johnny, question in the chat. After you heard that they canceled it, did you happen to go Berserk?
I was more so confused, to be quite honest, because this is pre-me understanding that DC canceled books they solicited. So I really was like, for a while, I'm like, did I imagine that? And I was like, no, there was a picture. It was some Lenny stuff. No, they said there'd be sandwiches. And that's how I felt, man. And so I was really confused and then angry that I sold those books because they are, like I said, I haven't been able to find Prey. I can get it on eBay now if I want to spend $80 on a $20 trade paperback, which I don't. That's a little rough.
Yeah, that's no good.
I mean, I don't need to get it at cover price because it's not a print, but damn, $80?
To a similar degree, I complained about when they canceled that JLA Tower of Babel
But
book.
you know what's
but apparently,
coming out now?
Yeah, so again, hold out hope, Johnny.
You're right. You are right about that. And I actually would prefer they'd release it in a deluxe edition. But do you have that on order? Don't mess around with that.
The
Tower of Babel.
Tower of Babel? Is it listed yet? I must have.
Yes!
I must have, yeah. You know what?
We're going to double check later.
You know,
I don't...
See, you want to see how the comic ordering works? Watch this.
You can do that right
Remind me Saturday at 1 p.m. to check on ordering Tower of Babel.
Oh, damn, dude, you know what? We haven't even talked.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So the thing is, let me... I'm turning mine down now here too. How's it sound? Because the thing is, I was listening to some old videos, and I feel like the quality dropped off at some points. Maybe it was always a little wonky, but I turned on both mics here because... Here we go. The other option is then for me to try and yell. I don't know, Charlie, if it's any better now, or I think it's... How about now? Because now I've just got the one microphone on, which is how we've always done it, but it's yeah. Yeah, all right. I'll try to keep calm.
Roger Lou.
Again, every time, Johnny.
What? What do you mean every time?
Roger's fine.
Why? Oh, no, it's one of those names.
Cat's out of the bag, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Ken Gray. It just rolls off the tongue. It's just how we're all friends.
That's just the bonus docs for you right
Hey,
there.
watch this, Johnny Boy. You get the full name. So, do you know how to use video editing programs, Raj?
I would assume he does.
You do.
I've seen his editing reel. Looking good.
Raj, you and I might have to have a coffee date sometime soon. As a matter of fact, I would like that. What's your favorite coffee? What'd you just say?
Yeah, Roy shared it with me because we were talking about some other potential opportunities featuring Raj and his video camera. And I'll leave it at that.
Anything I want. Dangerous words, my friend. Dangerous words.
Yeah, don't give Johnny any power.
Yeah, wait, what kind of, what's your Starbucks drink of choice, Raj? Let me know. I used to work there, so you can tell me once and I'll remember forever. It's one of my skills. I have several. It's one of them. Who wrote this? Rick, remember? Was that a typo or are you being funny? Either way, it's funny. I like it. Matcha latte, no foam. Okay.
Keeping it healthy.
Well, there's a lot of debate there. But...
Yeah, but it's...
Well, okay, Raj, wait. We gotta talk about something. No foam, huh? Okay. Why? Just explain yourself. Black eye is my go-to. Oh, nice. That's a good typo. Still funny. I really dug it.
What is black eye?
Black eye is a coffee with 2 shots of espresso. Red eye would be 1 shot.
Caffeine, Johnny.
I mean...
Also, Charlie, I snuck on both mics again to see if this is any better, if it's still echoey. If it is, I'll just turn it off, but it's...
Oh, nice. Oh, man, you got freedom like that? That's sweet. Yeah, well...
Zone boss.
I mean, Tuesday, man. I'm here all day, man. I'll bring my laptop. You come in. I'll get some coffee.
Thank you,
What's
Charlie.
weird about it? Coffee with friends isn't weird.
No,
that doesn't...
microphones.
Oh, I thought you meant the plans.
I mean, you basically are, right? Like, it's...
Or using Xbox Connect.
Xbox. Show my stuff. Yeah, Tuesday
Wait,
sounds
Mike, are you in your bathroom?
good. This isn't a toilet. Uh-oh. I gotta...
Well, I use the
gotta-
bathroom,
I gotta-
so technically this is my
I
bathroom.
gotta change my Mike's chair sign. Oh, no, it's not a shot of camera. It's a Mike's chair sign. Oh, no. Sitting in the right seat. Okay. Johnny, how come I'm looking at, is that Puck?
Yeah, I guess.
Not, but
Are you sure?
it's a good point.
Yeah, because I actually, no, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
But
It's
Puck does
it's
make an
elf.
appearance.
Yeah, we can spoilers, yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, so it cuts back over from, like, they're going to go into Midland Castle, like I said. They get the princess. They're sneaking in, blah, blah, blah. If you didn't hear it, you can go back and rewind. And it cuts over to that other second group that's hiding out in the forest waiting. And we see Rickert, if we remember, Rickert is one of our characters.
Forget, man.
Wait, yeah, because Judeo's the one with the knife, so they
Yeah,
kind of remind me of
Judeo's
each other.
cool, yeah.
Yeah, but Rickard goes off to get some water, right? And while he's getting water, he sees this like elf fairy thing like hanging out over the water, and then he's following it back to the forest, and he hears some noises, and he's like, "What? Is it like an enemy raid?" And like, all of a sudden, like the whole troop is gone, man.
Yeah, the entire camp is ghost town.
So, Ghost Town opens. You know what I really do like that I've noticed on this read is that they open with like the same. It opens right as the last one ends, but like it kind of gives you the same panels again, but not in like an annoying way. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, all right, so whole troop's gone. He hears some noises, and he walks over, and you can see a silhouette of an upside down body, and he's like, and it's saying "run," and he's like, "What?" And then we see it hanging. Oh, dude! And then we get this reveal of a face, and then boom! I mean, you guys can see it, but
Good
like,
horror manga.
dude, this is what I'm saying, man. Like, this stuff is weird. I love it. Like, it's eating that dude,
Definitely not
man.
normal, yeah.
Right, and so, oh, look at this, dude. It's so creepy.
Again, my like background exposure to this is I love the video games Demons and Dark Souls, and I know that they were heavily influenced by this. And like seeing these creatures and these monsters, and like comparing that to like the video games, I'm like, oh yeah, I can definitely see why, where they took like different scenes and characters from Berserk and kind of turned them into like boss fights. Because yeah, I mean that's what you'd see, that weird amass of just bodies and like insect legs.
Yes, they're about to attack Rickard, and he can't move, and then out of nowhere, the Skull Knight appears again.
Hell yeah.
And, like, basically warns off them, like,
Hey,
the
back
demons.
off. It ain't time.
It's true. Haste is needed, is it not? And so they back the fuck off, man. Dude, look at this artwork, dude. Just how badass is that Skull Knight, man?
He is.
I know, dude. Whoops. Look at his ribs.
They're literal ribs.
Do you know I've never had ribs at a restaurant? I've only had them at home. I've never ordered ribs anywhere. Gale Street is apparently the place to go. Can anyone in the chat confirm? Gale Street
I've
in.
had ribs either. Wait a minute now. Hold on.
Mikey, are we going out for ribs, baby?
Do ribs
I want my Mikey back,
do
Mikey
ribs
back, Mikey
exist?
back, Mikey back. Ribs. Yeah. But I don't want to eat them on a comics corner. That's just going to get messy.
I'm not one for ribs to begin with anyway because I'm not in
Gale Street rules. Wait, you know who I bet is so down on ribs?
You tell me, Johnny.
His name begins with a Z and it rhymes with sack. Or back. Or jack. Or lack or crack. Or mac. Or knack. Or dack.
Zach?
Gack.
Gack.
Gack. Our buddy Gack. Who's Zach?
Z-Gack. Why isn't that?
Pack.
Yeah, right. So, Raj, we talked about that. Did you ever broach the subject of, hey, Gack, read Berserk?
Wait, speaking of brooches, what'd you think of that WandaVision, dog?
Wait, brooches? Okay. No.
Yeah,
it's
she has the brooch with death on it. Agatha?
I
Oh,
didn't
that's
notice
Agnes, but it's
I
clearly Agatha.
know you do deep dives. I haven't seen like any of the articles about like 10
I haven't been
things,
swimming in years, Mike.
10 things from last night's episode that's,
Dude, one of the videos I watched was like 65 spoilers from episode 2, and I was like, wait, like episode 2 was like 28 minutes. I don't think there were 65 Easter eggs. I was like,
Easter egg 25.
Did anybody
They're-
else watch WandaVision
They're
yet?
joking about the Dick Van Dyke Show. Yeah. This show or WandaVision? There is a correct answer. Only one of them is good.
Oh, WandaVision's better than our show. Are you serious? If you're gonna say there's only one.
Yes, Charlie, he does.
They have special
over
effects.
An ottoman. Am I crazy? It's the first episode. Vision trips over an ottoman, Dick Van Dyke style, right?
Okay, you're partially right.
Or he knocks into something. But yeah, but no, like Charlie, like they know what they're doing. Like didn't we talk about this? The executive producer or like one of the assistant writers was Dick Van Dyke himself, or there's something like that.
Okay.
Lay it on me.
The shtick in Dick Van Dyke is that he would trip over the thing.
The ottoman. Yeah.
In WandaVision, he does the thing where he phases through it.
Yeah,
so he
phases
doesn't
through it. Yeah,
trip.
exactly.
That's
what
the
it was.
joke.
Yeah. That's the joke. Yeah. So they they know what they're doing.
That's
It's not
the
like
joke.
it's not hokey. Like I actually really enjoy WandaVision. Like I feel like even devoid of all of the Marvel stuff, I think it's just a good kind of love letter / parody to a lot of those 40s, 50s, 60s romance sitcoms like I Love Lucy, a lot of influence from that, like Dick Van Dyke Show, I Dream of Jeannie. The second episode was just like some good tension too. Like it was actually good suspense.
In the show?
Yes, in the show. That's a poor trade, Raj. I wouldn't trade WandaVision for this show, but
I would find a way to have both.
yeah.
I would make some other trades. I would make some concessions.
When's the next episode come out for WandaVision? I forget.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? They're doing it every Friday?
AKA, do you know there's going to be a Marvel thing on every Friday for the entire year? Do you know that?
Why Friday? Now, why not Marvel Mondays? I mean, I guess obviously, you want end of the week, people are off work, but the alliteration.
You know what? I'm glad you don't run a film company, because it would die. Okay, which is time.
Why am I running a film company if I'm putting on TV, Johnny?
I guess this is why you're running a company and I'm just a lowly comic
see on
book
Mondays.
guy.
Marvel Mike Mondays.
We'll make mine.
How come nobody's watching my show? It's on Monday at 2 p.m. Isn't that prime time?
He got me that time, Raj. I can admit when I'm bested, and this is one of the few times.
One of the hell yeah. Not wrong, Raj. Yeah.
Hey, where's Alan? I want to ask him something.
He was here.
I know, but I want to ask him something in the chat. It's a different
Something
experience.
Jack Kirby, something.
So, yeah. All
The
right,
Eternals.
do you want me to call it upon Alan? Jack Kirby is a hack.
Are you sacrificing Jack Kirby to summon?
Jack the Hack Kirby.
To summon the godhead of pastimes.
Gotta say it 3 times. Jack the Hack Kirby. Jack the Hack Kirby. Jack the Hack Kirby. Actually, you know what I was reading or finding out that he actually really did get like berated by the fans when he came back to Captain America in like the late 70s.
Yeah, love hate relationship with our boy. I still like him over Stanley, I think, but
Yeah, I would agree. Stan the Man was a creep.
No, he wasn't though. Guts.
No, Guts is a very noble man. So yeah, the Skull Knight saves Rickard, and then they're going down this, crazy tunnel to the bottom of Midland Tower, and the princess is basically going with them to be a hostage if they need it. And she agreed to this, so she's cool with it.
Well, the thing is, they were gonna use her, take her by force and force her to be a hostage, but she was like, nah, man, I'll willingly go with you guys, and still be like a hostage, like a token for you guys to try. As long as it helps save Griffith, that's all she cares about. She wants Griffith to be brought back up.
I mean, Griffith is pretty great.
And in the meantime, we get some background of Midland.
Yeah, so she's telling this story about the way Midland was basically created, and that at one point there was this emperor that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That
united the kingdoms.
Yeah, and that when he would go off into war, he would dress as a skull. Or he would have this like face mask that was a skull, which you see up here. And so Guts is like, wait a minute, that's Skull Knight, dude.
A knight.
There's some connections. And so then he disappeared one day, basically.
Well, like he was like, it felt like very much like a. Speaking of Tower of Babel, it was very much a biblical allegory, Tower of Babel, of like he created this huge city that was that united everyone, and God wasn't happy with that, so he sent 4 angels, five angels to destroy the town, and they say that in its wake they created it got knocked down into subterranean space, and now the story is that the tower that they're going down leads down to the original Midland. So
there's all these bodies with that brand of sacrifice.
Are they okay?
They're dead. And they're getting followed, and we see the silhouette, and it's clearly that little creepy dude that was torturing Griffith the whole time. So that guy's
little nubby dude.
He's the guy who talks like this.
Well, he's got that cleft palate, so he's gotta have that lift.
Yeah. So they finally find Griffith's chamber, and they don't even recognize that it's him at first because he's been so tortured. And I mean, look at his back. So basically, here's a rundown. His tendons have been cut in his wrists and legs, so he can't walk or wield a sword. He has had his tongue cut out. He's been whipped and had his skin peeled off so many times that he's just missing chunks of his body. And he would be malnourished to the point of almost dying and then nursed back to health so he could be tortured more. So
that for a year's time.
Basically, Griffith had a 2020. And they take his mask off, and it's so grotesque that we actually never even get to see his face. Even Kentaro Miura, who has shown us rape, death, demons, was like, no, this dude's face, that's where I draw the line.
Is 2021 the eclipse then?
Let's hope not.
Is it only getting worse, John?
We don't even know what that eclipse is, man.
Hey, I saw some stuff.
You're damn right you did, but you didn't see enough, dude. So
what you saw.
They're all, distraught over what they're seeing.
Yeah, the great leader seeing him in this kind of pitiful state. They have a moment where they're just kind of, they kind of collapse and realize what it means, and then slam, the door behind them shuts.
Sweet sound effect.
Slam. Golden Foley work. Raj, if you need any in the studio Foley work, got you covered.
Mighty guy.
But yeah, like you said, the tower torturer shut the door on them and is taunting them. I'm behind this 4 times reinforced door, and I'm just gonna mock you and tell you about exactly what we said, all the ways.
Yeah, he goes over it. And then he's got Griffith's tongue on a necklace around his neck, and he's licking his tongue and saying how it's his most prized possession. It's his good luck charm. That's what he says. So Guts, as Guts would do, busts through that door with his gut sword, his dragon slayer, and just stabs the dude right through the door, cuts his tongue off, and then lets him slide down his sword into that abyss.
Yeah.
Pretty dope. And then they get surrounded and attacked by some soldiers, because that dude called soldiers, and they're like, oh, we're trapped, and Guts is like, trapped? I'm fucking Guts. And he gets that Guts face going. Dude.
Gutsface.jpg is what I've got that saved as on my computer.
Wait, really? You're a jerk when you lie to me. You know, here's the thing. I'm what you would call gullible. I tend to believe my friends even when they lie to me.
Wait,
and yes, Mike,
what do you have to gain?
you know, you are my friend. So, contrary to popular belief, I have friends. And one of them is Mike. I have a lot of friends, actually. A few.
But one of them is Mike.
Hey!
Hey.
Oh, there are not enough people here. Yeah, they're getting fucking torn apart by Guts, dude. Yeah. I mean, what's the point of not swearing on a show like this? I mean, look at this. I mean, this guy's got a sword through his head.
Can I not swear?
How can I not say that's fucking awesome? I mean, it's just the most wild, man. It's the most mature content I've ever read this consistently. Like, what other like, you know, you'd be like, oh, Killing Joke, you know, yeah, he he paralyzes Barbara Gordon, and it's implied that he rapes her, and it's like...
Spoiler alerts for our future Killing Joke episode, but yes.
You know what, bro? I'm sorry. Ed Book's 33 years old this year. You don't know that's what happens. It's in continuity.
I was going to say, if you haven't read that, if you haven't read the noir version of it, the Absolute.
I have the Absolute, actually.
The Deluxe.
See, the Absolute is actually really cool, because it's like the Batman Year One, where it has two versions of the story. One is the... Had you not read that, Raj?
Uh-oh.
Come on, dog. I mean, it's just common knowledge at this point. Everyone's like, how'd Barbara Gordon end up in that wheelchair? Well...
Fell down the stairs. Yeah, exactly. Now you don't need to, because you know everything. That's it. That's the joke. That's the Killing Joke.
Here's the thing. Actually, you should read it, because it's very ambiguous what the Killing Joke is and what it means. So,
well, the Killing Joke, like they have the joke at the end, something flashlight.
Yeah, but why is it called the Killing Joke? Is the joke has nothing to do with killing? Is it because it's the joke that sends Batman over the edge and kills the Joker?
I think so. Yeah.
Do you think so? I'm asking. Is that actually your interpretation?
I think we'll save that conversation for.
No, we're in the conversation. I'm asking you questions. They've already been asked. They must be answered.
Is the Killing Joke when Guts kills all these soldiers?
Do you think Batman kills the Joker at the end of the Killing Joke?
No.
Did you ever think that?
It's in continuity. No. I think it ends like they show and they imply. They have like that moment of laughing, and then it's like, all right, you're carted off. You silly goose.
Raj, how you feel about being my co-host?
Yes, the person of the yeah. There's a new opening.
All right,
you get to read cool books. That's a plus.
Oh my god, look at this dude! Like, what artwork is this consistently this good, dude? Like, Marvel books suck compared to this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love them, dude. Like, dude, even like, I mean,
King in Black. Who we got the Black Knight here.
Black Swordsman.
Black Swordsman.
Black Knight was a movie with Martin Lawrence.
It was. It was a good movie. I think I saw that one in theaters.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Was it?
It's cool that you're that old.
Is that cool?
I think it is.
I think that's even worse than seeing the movie.
You ever hang out with a young person? Like, really young person? Because that's not cool.
Hey, it's not cool because they're young, or?
I'll throw more spoilers in than Mike. Wait, how old is Johnny? 23. Looking. When I shave.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Got him.
Oh. All right. I like this one too because I mean it's very hokey and on the nose, but like we've got like the guard captain here who's like, oh, we sent in our 30 dudes, you know, like that's more than enough to take him, you know, like yes, they said that he was the man who killed 100 people, that Guts, I'm sure it was just, I'm sure it was 12 people max, and then
It's an exaggeration.
he kills his way up to the top, kills the like decapitates the guard captain.
Yeah, and I'm not diminishing any. I'm certainly not diminishing any of the artwork, but like, as far as like us focusing on the artwork when he's killing people for the sake of time and story, like we know how badass it is when he's plowing through a ton of people. Like,
No, like I mean, like
you need it in your hand to understand how good the artwork
like I said,
is.
even though the book reads pretty quickly, there's more than enough reason to like I do like slow down in those fight scenes and like see like every eyeball that's being knocked out, every decapitation. But to jump back here, the king, one I like how just like gaunt he is now. Like,
Oh
he's,
yeah.
like, just like in a year's time, he went from like kind of being like a dude in his 70s to like now he's like 98. He's just like barely hanging on. Like I assume that that's because like the toll that like all the stuff with him and his daughter and Griffith like just
Oh yeah.
aged him, you know, in a year.
Oh Abe, you've aged terribly. So, yeah, basically,
But yeah, he oversees that they're escaping.
and he calls
all
the
his guards.
Bakraka.
Well, he called the guards, and then he's like, "All right, we're gonna let them go, but in their stead, I'm gonna call on the
Bakaraka.
Bakaraki,
Bakaraka.
which is, you know, they talk about it next chapter, but it's this guild of assassins from, you know, an unknown land who are trained, you know, just to kill, and he's, you know, all right. Hunt them down, kill Griffith, you know, bring me proof of his death, but do not harm my daughter.
Yeah, and he's like, if any of you harm her, or if she ends up harmed at all, my army will kill you, and no one will ever even know the guild that existed.
Exactly.
Like, he's not messing around, as far as he can. And, yeah, so they're going through this, like, sewer, and they're basically being hunted by the guild, and this crazy dude with his, like, Vega claws.
Yeah, yeah. Vega.
Or Bison, we were talking about that last
You ever play
time.
Soul Calibur?
Yeah, no.
Okay, fine. He's Dulcim plus Vega.
Yes, he is. I'll agree with that. We got this little creepy frog dude who's coming out of the water, going to kill Casca, and
Those two little tridents.
then one of the little dudes pops out and shoots a blow dart towards Griffith, but the princess gets in its way,
Yeah,
and
she notices it and yeah, like steps in front of it.
Right.
Takes the dart to the arm.
so and basically, what they end up say, like they surround them, the assassins, and they're like,
Yeah,
oh well, Guts did cut that one
Yeah,
dude in half.
to
That
be
was
fair,
cool.
He had it coming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What?
Raji did miss a Voldo. Well, because I was gonna say he's a mix of Voldo and Vega, but honestly, especially with, like the turban and like the very lanky arms, he's more Dhalsim plus Vega. But I don't know. I mentioned Voldo just because I used to be a Voldo main. He was my favorite. Speaking of weird, creepy dudes.
So he basically is like, how about you give us that princess, and we'll assure that we'll get her back because she has that dart in her, so she's gonna die from that poison.
Yeah, like we've got the antidote. You give her.
And they're like, it's gonna end up badly for us if she dies, so you're gonna want to trust us because the king will kill us. Basically, is what he says.
Wait, hold up. Can you go back now 2 pages or 1 page? Yeah, there we go. Okay, because Raj threw up the Johnny emote. I think we need to get you. Yeah, exactly. We need to get you like legs like holding up in like the hallway like.
Oh, we can
you
do that.
Suspended above me.
I'll just do that. Raj, we're gonna need your editing skills. Editing skills. We're gonna need your editing skills. Can you edit that? Thank you. Okay.
Live editing, folks.
Johnny just got de-aged another 4 years. He's 19.
But yeah. So
Look,
like,
Roger added artificial laughter.
it's not artificial. It's sincere.
My heart just tingled a little bit.
I'm sure the princess is too, as the poison is coursing through her veins, Johnny. But she needs the antidote, so they realize, well, you know, we basically have to give her up. We're not gonna be able to make it anyway. Got to do what they say. You know, here's the trade-off. But they're betrayed, Johnny.
No, the dude says we're gonna still stay here and kill you. The trade-off is that they're gonna just take the princess to safety.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They don't.
because
They're not saying you guys are going off.
fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, so they get into their fight and like, you know, our guys win. You know, Judeo gets to show off his knife
I
skills.
kind of like the scene.
It was
the way
cool.
They killed him, yeah.
Yeah,
it was
because like
clever.
it's too dark, so he uses the sparks of the knife to see where they are, and
Yeah,
then
he
he kills.
bounces it off the wall, and he's like, "Oh, there he is. That's how far he is. Dunk, dunk. Here's 2 knives for you, kid. Take 2 of these and call me in the morning," says Dr. Judeo.
That's funny, right in the throat, man. Casca kills the little frog dude. Gut slices the lanky dude in half, and so the chick who, well, we're gonna see her in a second. The last assassin, she uses like gunpowder. What is it that she?
Yeah, it
she
sound
basically
like-
lights the air on fire. But like they give an explanation. It's not just she lights air on fire.
Yeah.
So they escape at the last second. So they got Griffith with them.
Yeah, our boy Scottie Pippen punches a hole through the wall or through the ceiling, which lets the exploding air ventilate. They're saved.
Then it comes back to the princess getting returned.
They also like happen to get the lady back too real quick, which I feel like there must have been some jump of time that happened there because.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, princess is back, safe.
And the king does hold true to his word, and he
Yeah.
kills that last assassin with his sword,
Yep.
because the princess got hit with that dart. He's like, she got hurt. I told you, and he kills her. So the
Man
guild
of
is
his
no
word.
more.
Yeah.
So she then makes him. The princess makes the king promise that he will stop hunting Griffith because he's already paid his dues, and he's like, of course, like. I like you need to go rest. Like I'll stop hunting Griffith. I'll stop pursuing him. And she's like, "Thank you, father."
Psych.
Then he calls on the black dogs, and all of his men are like, "No, not the black dogs." And he's like, "Yeah, the black dogs." So we're about to find out about the leader of the black dogs called Wild. Spelled
W-Y-L-D or whatever.
No, W. Yeah, W-Y-L. No, I'm typing it because it's so odd.
It's so wild.
It is. Oh, the chat, my chat.
But yeah, real quick, the
W-Y-A-L-D.
Wild, yeah. But point
Disclaimer.
being, the Black Dogs are this band of like criminals and ne'er-do-wells, undesirables that are known for like extreme brutality in their attacks, and like they're basically a dirty secret of the Midland Army. Like he employs them to do like basically like their black ops and dirty work. But like the actual knights of the Midland Army like kind of despise them because they're they're dishonorable, and they hate the fact they're even like referred to as knights at any point because that like sullies the name and lowers their own standings. But it's a dirty job that needs to get done, so he's calling upon our wild man.
And so we find out who this wild dude is.
Man, what a character introduction.
He's having, I believe they call it an orgy.
It's a one-man orgy, yeah.
Well, there's several women.
But one man.
And he's doing, and then, man.
What?
What?
He's just an animalistic man, and he even looks the part, but...
Yeah, pretty creepy.
Yeah, we told you, it's adult situation.
Yeah.
Right.
And, yeah. So, and then, like, the one that he was having an interaction with, when he found out that he was going to get, like, this dude comes in and he's like, "You're getting sent by the king to go mess with the Band of the Hawk." And he's like, "What?" And he, like, snaps the neck of the girl that he was...
Yeah.
Yep. So that's that.
That's our dude.
Book 11. Man. We gotta roll. So... we get the little backstory about this dude. He's crazy. He killed some other dude.
Yeah, this like...
It was weird.
Yeah, like it's almost like played to comedic effect. The scene where it's like he had to face off against this other like super strong prisoner. Whoever wins gets freedom, I believe.
No, it would be the leader of their...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like to gain that power, like he knows he has to like instill a level of fear, but also charisma in doing so. So he says like, "Hey man, I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna like have you like killed on top of the spike of the highest tower over there." And like he's like, "Yeah, whatever." And then they charge at each other, and it cuts to on top of the tower. The unfortunate prisoner, the other guy, would-be leader, is now impaled on top of that spire. And I don't know. Like I said, it happens in literally like a blink of an eye. So to me, it felt like comedic timing, but maybe that's just me.
Well, and then it cuts back to reality, and it's the Band of the Hawk getting Griffith onto this cart that they're getting from a couple of villagers, and they're like, "Oh, thank you for your help. Here's like some money." And they're like, "Oh, like thank you. Like we're so happy to help the Band of the Hawk. You guys are like heroes."
Yeah.
And like they're like, "Thanks a lot." And they get like,
All right, well,
they
see
leave,
ya.
and then
Have a
like
good
as
one.
they're leaving, as they leave, some people show up on their
Yeah, they're riding
land.
out, and then somebody else is riding in.
And they're like, "Hey there," and we see that it's our dude Wild, and this is that scene I was talking about. They
Yeah, waste no time to like.
rape and pillage, man.
Yeah. for no reason other than they wanted, like you said, like basically like a warm up. Like,
and then they're following behind, and you know, a few minutes later, and they're gaining on the Band of the Hawk, and they're like, "What the hell's going on behind us?" And they have like all their like half bodies like on
on pikes and just parading them through like banners. I mean, it's a good scare tactic. That's how you get to know that our boys mean business.
In business, they mean Michael.
They caught up pretty quick after doing all that. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, is that really where you're gonna split hairs in the reality of the story? Seriously? All right. You know, I can buy into all the demons.
Mr. Kentaro, please, like, you know.
But I'm not sure if the timing adds up.
They were miles behind, and now they're right behind them, even after having time to.
Am I to believe that this is some sort of mythical horse that can cover miles in mere moments? I mean, really, what is this, a fantasy story?
Magic xylophone.
Thank you.
Yeah. They clash swords, and naturally, our boy Guts is the one who's going to be taking on the leader of the Black Dogs. Man, good look. It's a good close-up.
It's creepy, man.
Yeah, it's effective.
Yeah, and Guts keeps getting this like same feeling that he got when he was around the Skull Knight and Nosferatu Zod, where he's just like, man, this is the same type of like beast, man, like the same type of dude. Like I can't hurt him.
Yeah, because he's like deflecting his shots. He like grabs the sword with one hand, like just his naked hand, just like is able to like deflect shots and stuff like that. Oh yeah, man, that's that scene top left.
Yeah, where he just, crushes that dude's head with two fingers.
Because his like the Black Dogs are like, they're kind of like having some like loss of morale, because like they're getting killed, but they're like, you know, like they don't want to keep fighting, they don't think that they're gonna win. It's like, oh, if you want to, you know, like back out, here you go, and just like uses his two fingers and like squeezes the dude's skull in, and his eyes pop out. So another good show of, one, dude's willing to kill his own dudes, and two, how powerful he is. But yeah, they try running away, and another good scene here too. As they're like running away, they call down like boulders from the mountain to try and like crush them, but our boy Wild just like punches through the boulder with a bare hand and shatters it.
Yeah, it was pretty hysterical.
They set them on fire. He survives that.
They shoot a bunch of arrows. They get deflected because well, it kills all the regular guards, but not you know, not him. That's an awesome shot, man. And basically, they even start noticing, like, hey, this is just like when we fought Zod, and, like, nothing's affecting him. Nothing can penetrate him. Dude, look at this artwork, dude. He's
got a log, man.
He does have a log.
How do you stop him?
A saw, right? You saw on logs?
Yeah. Or try to get a big sword.
Yeah, it's a saw with. Yeah, see, right there. He's sawing through the log with his sword.
You know, yeah. Saw confirmed. Saw 3.
Saw 4. And then he catches the sword in his teeth during the fight. Like, it's a pretty damn good fight between him and... But it goes on for pages, man.
He's showing off. He's showing off right now, yeah.
So... Then, are we at the point where he goes crazy yet?
Where he goes berserk? Yeah, just about, yeah. He swings at him, he gets knocked back.
Yeah, it's a pretty long fight, man.
A few chapters, even.
Yeah, but there's a big thing that happens here that I'm waiting for. Is this it?
I did.
Yes, thank you, God. Okay, so... I just title dropped. Sure did. So, if we remember, Nosferatu Zod was like some big, creepy demon-looking dude, but then he turned into some bigger, creepy-looking demon dude. Well, that happens here. So, this Wild dude turns into this thing. Like...
some weird frog gorilla man.
Yeah.
It's a good look.
It's crazy. So...
Guts like, alright, well, guess I'm back to fighting demons.
Yeah. He basically is once again reiterating that's just like fighting Zod, and he's got that same, like, hopeless feeling in his stomach.
Trades in the log for an entire tree trunk. Goes to town on people.
Yeah, and then Casca gets involved, and, you know...
Gets involved, all right.
Yeah, so he ends up getting a hold of Casca here in a moment. He kills a bunch of the guards with, like, a tree, eats a bunch of them. Pretty grotesque, man. Casca's trying to get Guts to wake up because he got his shit knocked out, dude. He got thrown against a tree or
I mean,
bashed.
he holds his own for a while, but then gets knocked out for a second. Casca like wakes him up, but also in the doing so, or the attempt of doing so, gets captured herself. Nobody could really stop them. Says he's gonna do terrible things to her.
Yeah, it strips her clothes off, and then this like tongue comes out that's basically like and he's gonna slip it up her. Yep. And as he's doing this, Guts comes out of nowhere, wakes up, and he stabs him right through the tongue thing that was
through the something. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, pretty awesome. So he cuts that off. Casca gets dropped. She gets away. Then Guts basically runs up the dude's arm and like stabs the smaller body in the face.
Yeah, the wild man like actual body.
Yeah, here it is. Here he's running up it. Oh, maybe not. It's a long ass fight, dude.
Like there's
Damn.
back and forth. Like I mean, it shows like how well like Guts is able to endure all this. Like again like. As I like how just like everybody else in the army and like in the band is just kind of like standing by and like watching this, like not like, because at the same time like what are they gonna do? Like they know that their arrows don't do anything. Like none of them are nearly as strong or have like the will and endurance to survive this. So like kind of all they can do is like cheer on Guts or at the very least just watch him. So like yeah, he just keeps getting beaten up and battered, but like he tries to get back on his feet and endure because he knows that like if he can't beat them, nobody else will, and
can't beat him, join him.
He saw what almost happened to Casca. He knows what's going to happen to Guts or to Griffith too. So then he decides, this is where he runs up. He gets an opening, like breaks off his sword inside that guy. So
yeah, breaks off inside his neck. Then he stabs him in the face with his dagger.
Yeah.
And then he gets thrown off one last time, but then the dude collapses because he's basically bleeding out.
They both collapse. Casca runs over, seeing if he's okay or if he's dead. And now, if you want to go back real quick, I like that shot of
him like giving the thumbs up.
Yeah, just like him, just like beaten, battered, like toppled over on the tree trunk, and then just a quick little. It's okay, hon. I'll be fine. Man. Well, thank God everybody's okay, Johnny.
Right now. What?
We cut back to the princess, fully recovered, in bed, but kind of longing again for Griffith because she's like, you promised we'd be together forever. Where are you, man?
And she looks outside and she sees something in the sky and she's like,
bird.
hey, is that a bird?
It's a big
I
bird.
love this.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
Good painting, good poster.
It'd be a great poster.
But they're back and tending to their wounds. This is where like he kind of has the realization that she can't really stay with run off with Guts like she's promised.
Yeah, because like she's realizing that Griffith is pretty helpless on his own. Like he can't even walk.
Critical state right now. And
right.
They need to do whatever they can to try and protect him, but.
And there's some guards that went back to check on the body of this wild dude, and of course, surprise, surprise, they think his hand's moving.
Yeah, did that move? Oh, it must be nothing.
Yeah, and then
just a ball.
Guts is having a conversation with Griffith, basically being like, man, that was just like that time with Nosferatu Zod.
And real quick, there was a moment here where I thought, like, is Griffith talking?
Oh.
Just the way that the word bubble was placed, it was like right in front of Griffith. I'm like, are they having a talk? Is he hallucinating this? But I'm like, no, he's just he's monologuing about like, oh man, like we sure do get into some scrapes, huh? But you're gonna need your armor because you're not able to protect yourself right now. So
right.
Here's your breastplates.
So he puts his armor on, and then it cuts back to that forest, and we see that Wild wasn't dead, and he got up.
Face pushed in.
Yeah, and he's coming to the camp to attack everybody, and he's basically seeking out Griffith specifically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he grabs Griffith and he starts saying all this ominous shit about how like he doesn't want to die, and Griffith can just call the God Hand, their guardian angels with the Behelit, and
become the fifth.
Right, and you're like, what? And he's talking about the egg of the king, and something about some advent.
Well, he knows that he's dying soon, so he's like, yeah, let's get this going, man. Start it up.
And Griffith doesn't know what he's talking about. Nobody knows what he's talking about. They get him surrounded, And then he basically strips Griffith off in front of everybody and reveals how broken that Griffith is. Because not everybody knew. They kind of thought like they got Griffith back and they won. And then he's like, oh no, you guys haven't realized that like your leader's broken. He can't even walk.
Yeah.
And so he's like, and you guys don't even understand. Oh, that's where you got your quote, right? Yeah, and he's like, you don't even understand what's going on. And, like, they don't. Like, we don't even know what's going on at the readers. Like, what the hell is this Advent and this freaking eclipse they keep talking about? And then, as, like, this is all happening, boom, Nosferatu Zod shows up right behind him.
Yeah. Hello.
And he doesn't look too happy.
Nor should he be. Great painting.
Some of that charcoal, man.
Charcoal, yeah, exactly.
So, basically, man.
It's good.
It's the best, dude. Anybody who doesn't own these is really missing out. I'm not just saying that because we sell them. Like, these are, dude.
No, I mean, I'm glad I do too. I mean, like, this all started from, like, hey, we've got these sweet Berserk volumes. We should probably read these. And it's like, okay, well, this is awesome. I guess we're going to now own all of these when they finally come out,
So, and basically, he's pissed that he's, like, fucking with Griffith, essentially. Because he's like, what are you doing? He's going to call the God Hand. We still don't know what the hell that means. So he grabs Wild and basically stabs him with his horns.
Yeah, lifts him up over his head and just gores him.
And then he rips him in half on top of his head. Like, his guts spill out.
Him. His guts spill out. His Griffiths spill out.
And then he gives that stare down to Guts again. And he's like, you don't have... And he looks at Griffith. He's like, you don't have the Behelit. But it's going to return to your hand, because that's how it will be.
That's how it do.
And you're like, man, what the hell are you talking about? Even Guts here, he screams to him. He's like, what the hell's the eclipse? Isn't this the monster that you were talking about?
Yeah.
That I couldn't escape death? And he's like, nah, you'll understand soon. We still know what it means. And we see all these like grotesque demons coming out of the body of Wild, but we realize that they're just like sucking him back into the ground. Crazy stuff. And then we see this decrepit little old man.
Yeah, that's who Wild
really was before he's possessed by the demon. Next we got book 12, man. Requiem of the Wind.
Things pick up in book 12, John.
Oh, I know. Wait till we get to the next book, man.
Yeah, I left on a cliffhanger, but I liked where this one went.
So...
If you want to speed through this part, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. So basically the Band of the Hawk is kind of reeling now, and they're not sure what to believe anymore, because they're like, wow, we thought that we got our dude Griffith back, but it turns out he's just a broken man. And they really got nowhere to go. They've never done anything else with their lives. They've just been this like bandit of mercenaries for as long as they can remember. So they're kind of seeking any type of leadership. They're like, oh, Casca, you're going to lead us, right? And then Judeo's like, nah, man, like, Casca's been leading us for a year. Like, let her be, man. She's got to have some time to herself. And they're like, Guts, you're our captain, right? We'll follow you to the end. And he's kind of like, I don't know, I kind of got to lead my own path. And so, like, nobody really knows what to do. And Casca just basically tells Guts, like, I gotta stay here with Griffith, like, I can't leave him. And she's like, but you gotta go off on your own and follow your dream. You can't live here under his dream, or like, you can't be here just because I need to take care of Griffith and all this other shit. So then she goes to change Griffith's bandages, and we get this kind of odd scene where like Griffith like not forces himself on her, but basically just like plops on her. And I think he just wants to be like held. Like,
yeah,
like that's.
Well, it's because also we get since they reunited with Griffith. You know, obviously like Guts and Casca are more of an item, and like we get a lot of shots of like every time Casca is like being gentle with Griffith, or Griffith is like kind of like joking around with her. Like we cut to like
when she's being gentle with Guts,
exactly,
like we see Griffith noticing it.
Yeah, like we see his eye kind of like, you know, like intensely like staring at them. So like he is obviously noticing like, you know, what's going on there between Casca and Guts, and you know, between like Casca used to have a thing for Griffith, but also Griffith has a thing for Guts to some degree too. Like it's creating a weird tension there that like is kind of comes to a head of just like it's kind of like plopping on her, and that Casca has a realization of like she can't follow Guts' dream anymore. Like she's kind of got to stay and take care of Griffith.
Yeah, and that's what I was just telling everybody that. And so like, as she's having this talk with Guts, like Griffith like is in the wagon alone, and he has this like hallucination where like he's visited basically by himself before he got injured, and this version of him is basically taunting him into like what happened to your dream, and we get this like flashback story like that we were talking earlier of like him as a kid, and Griffith ends up literally getting up and like getting the horses to move to follow this like hallucination, and then he has like another fantasy of like
cut to the future or like what could be or could have been, because he's like with Casca and like their husband and wife, and they have a kid, and they're like
the kid's name is Guts, and like they have another kid named Pippin, and
well, no, they have a dog named Pippin. See, I see him in the background, top right. He's playing with the dog. I think the dog is Pippin, but either way, I think naming the kid Guts.
I guess you're right.
Like,
no, I think you're right actually.
Maybe it's just me.
No, you're right. And then like
what's
in
my Cheerios?
Yeah, so she goes to like feed him some soup in this like fantasy, and like he looks in the spoon and there's the Behelit, and like so like and then it cuts back to reality, and like his carriage hit like a rock and he goes flying out of it, and he lands in this like river, and his arm is broken, and then the carriage carts off.
Yeah, that arm.
And this really is like it happens quick. This is where shit starts getting fucking crazy. Man, I'm so into talking about this. Like, can I use the bathroom too?
Yeah.
And then can we talk about this?
Sure.
Can you? Oh man.
Because
like literally like this page turns and the rest of the book, it's like a light got switched, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Or a flip got switched.
I'll hold the fort. But yeah, so I think part of what was so important to this one too is attacking this one. Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing, Raj, is for these Thursday book club book ones is we like to give a little recap at the beginning, because then like see where we stand on this. Obviously, not a fanboy. That sounds kind of negative, but I mean he is. Johnny's a fanboy of the series. Like he's read it all in or not in its entirety. I think he said he was like 70% of the way through, because there's a lot. Like even in these deluxe editions, they collect 3 volumes each. So we're on book 4, collects volumes 10 through 12. I think in its entirety, there's like 50 volumes, 60-ish. I forget what the final count is, but basically, going off the deluxe editions, there's going to be about like 15 of them, and we're on 4. So like we're 4/15ths of the way through it. So that kind of tells you how much there is, but. He's big on it, and like there's a lot to tackle too, but also like it moves at a pretty quick clip. Like we said, like it's like 600 pages usually for each of these, like 500-600 pages for these books. But like in an hour and a half time, like you're done with it. Like because there's not a lot of dialogue. It is a lot of like visuals for the most part. Johnny mentioned he thought that like that this book had more text. I think that the last one did, because like the last one, if anybody watched it, it was a lot more with the it was a lot more diplomacy. Like there wasn't as much action as like in this one. Like that fight scene with Wild, especially like when he's in his final form. Like that was like 3 chapters with like barely any dialogue and like mostly just action. And like it's great and all. Like it's cool. It sets the scene. It shows off obviously like how strong he is versus Guts, and like almost Dragon Ball style. Like we get to have like the perpetually increasing monsters to kind of show off like how strong Guts is getting more and more each time. But it moves pretty quickly, because you're just kind of like, okay, cool. They swing at each other like almost like flip book style. Like I feel like you could scan the page pretty quickly and you almost see the motion to it. So yeah, there's a lot to tackle, but like I said, it goes by pretty quickly. But this next scene is kind of where things start to begin. And Johnny's talked about how just on the boat. That one I don't know. I haven't gotten to any boat part, because This is all new to me. So Johnny's read basically everything. I have not. So he's even talked about. No, it's fine. I look forward to a boat, Raj. But no, because like we've talked about how like obviously people know Berserk or they know Guts and like through cultural osmosis and just being a nerd and stuff like that. Like I know a bit about it. Like I knew Griffith, I knew Guts, I knew Casca a bit, but never like in deeper detail. And like I said, I know like the stuff that was like influenced by Berserk. Like I said, like the video games that I played,
paper towels,
and other stuff. Oh, I just used my hat.
That makes sense. I don't have a hat though.
But like I never read it in its entirety too. So like all the stuff with the eclipse and the advent, I never really knew anything about it. So it wasn't until I read this just the other day, like, oh, this is what it's about. Like when people like I joked at the first book of like the meme about like Griffith did nothing wrong, being on Team Griffith. Like when we got like the stuff that was more like Griffith heavy, I'm like, oh man, I kind of dig Griffith. I think he's a cool character. I don't see why people hate him. And you know what, Johnny?
We're about to find out, man.
Griffith is a cool character.
Here we go, baby. So Griffith is in this puddle of water, this river, and he sees this like. What?
Sorry, I said if you will.
Yeah.
Go on.
And he just starts kind of like laughing hysterically, like crazed, and he sees this like pointy like broken log or whatever in the water. He looks at it, and boom, just jams his throat into it. Suicide-like, man. Just, and his blood, he's bleeding out of his eyes, he's bleeding everywhere, and his blood starts hitting the water. And as this is happening, it starts getting dark.
Yeah.
Oh my
Things
God.
okay, Johnny?
What happens when it gets dark, Mike?
I don't know, man.
And
What's this glimmer in the lake?
Well, the blood is hitting the water, and he looks down in his hand, and what should he find? But the behelit.
The king's egg.
Eclipse. So we get this shot of him,
Chapter 12.
and
Eclipse.
he is having that flashback of Nosferatu Zod from a few pages ago saying it will return to your hand because that's how it is. Then he hears Wild being like, use it, call them our guardian angels. And then he like looks off in the distance and he sees Guts coming after him.
The band of boys come to try and save him because they were following behind him because he ran away.
And they get up close to him and he sees them and then
Uh-oh.
oh man, dude!
Is the sun okay?
It's getting eclipsed, baby! We've been reading volumes of this, all leading to this moment. That's a solar eclipse. Could this be? Boom. And we see the behelit start doing stuff.
It's doing stuff.
And then Griffith gets... he does say this, right? Or is he just thinking... No, he can't.
No, he does.
No, he can't. You can see they're different. See? He's saying, but he's trying to say, stay away. See how they're...
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's
you're
different. Right. So he's trying to tell them to stay away, but he can't. Because he doesn't have a tongue. And then all of a sudden, there's all these silhouettes behind him, man.
Dudes.
Or dudettes.
Yeah, there's some dudettes.
And there's an eclipsed sun.
Breaking up our beach party.
And there's some creepy ass demon dudes, man. Like some man. And everyone's like, what's going on? And Guts is like, they're dangerous. He doesn't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. They're like, weren't we just in a hill? And Griffith, he can't say anything, but he's saying, like, in his mind, he's like, stay away, if you touch me now, if you put your hand on my shoulder, I'll never again with you. And then Guts is there, and he sees Griffith, and then he sees the behelit, and he looks down, and damn, dude!
That's the picture from the manga, from the anime, in the opening scene.
It's crying, dude. It's bleeding. It's screaming, and all of a sudden the ground changes out from underneath them, and the sky. And what the fuck is going on, man? Dude, when I was watching the anime, dude, after like fucking 24 episodes of it being normal, and then this.
Why is the sky facing?
Because it does do the same thing, man. Where the first episode's like, what the fuck is this? And then the next, like, 22, 23, You get a little
Yeah,
glimpses
yeah.
of stuff, and then this happens, man.
No, that's the way I like it. Yeah.
Dude.
You gotta tease the weirdness and then like make you kind of forget about it a little bit, and then it's like, oh crap, the sky is faces, Johnny. Now the ground is faces.
The ground is all faces, dude. Look at this, man. Nobody knows. Like, they're all scared shitless.
Rightfully so, to be fair.
Man.
If only an elf could sort all this out, Johnny.
So we see, we cut back to Rickard getting dropped off. Basically, he's just getting dropped off, right?
Yes. Yeah, like he hitched a ride, like
Yeah, like I don't really know where he
after
is.
like the party got, everybody got torched at the old camp. Like
Yeah, I remember he got rescued by the Skull
Yeah,
Knight, right?
yeah.
And even the people dropping him off were like, "Man, something's wrong with that guy. Like he's pale. Like he just saw
Yeah.
death." And we're like, "Oh, you think?" And then it cuts to this like tent of a elf talking to like a fortune teller, and the elf happens to be Puck. All right, so I'm just gonna say that now. And basically, the fortune teller is talking about this dark time that's happening,
some
this dark
omens,
omen. Yeah, and he's like, or she, it's a she maybe, and she's like, you have a role in this. Like your paths will cross with. She's talking about the boy. Is she talking about Guts or is she talking about Rickard?
I thought it was Rickard, but I mean, it would make more sense for Guts. Because I mean, spoilers. Book 1, like chapters 1, like Puck is with Guts and stuff like that, and like talks about like how he's of great importance to all of this. So I figured it was Guts, but I mean like also the boy Rickard is with them. So maybe.
But then Puck like immediately is by that group that just left. That just left him.
I thought they were all traveling together. Is the thing. Like this was like their traveling band. Am I crazy?
Oh, is she in the tent?
So.
Yeah, in the back of the wagon.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
You can see it through that.
Yeah.
Diaphanous, whatever you'd call it, linens.
Yeah, and she's saying you're gonna cross paths with that
Here's
boy
Puck.
again. And even Rickard notices the eclipse, and he's like, "This is like an ominous feeling. Has something happened to everybody?" Yeah. And we cut back over to our. Oh my god, dude, this is just so weird, dude. You know what, man? Earlier or I guess it was last year. Yeah, it was last winter. Shit, dude. It's 2020, like early. There was a night where there was like a red moon.
Yes, yeah. Like a lot of people, I remember talking about that. Yeah.
And all I could think of was this. And I was out by my cousin in Crystal Lake, and I had to drive home like an hour by myself, and like I just kept looking around, like,
sure
am I gonna see some
road didn't become faces.
Yeah, I'm like waiting for some big demon snake thing in the forest, like looking off in the distance. Look up, the sky's red. I'm like, shit, dude. Or just the moon. Still scary.
Oh no, the sky is faces. I gotta get home.
Yeah. Mom, put on the coffee. So they're all freaking out still. Man, I just love it. And they're trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. Like the lesser soldiers are like freaking out. They're just screaming. They want to go home.
And Guts is noticing that the Behelit is all weird and different, and then Griffith's standing there bleeding blood and
out of his eyes.
Yeah. And all the demons start saying all this ominous shit that the feast is happening. It's the eclipse, the feast that happens every 216 years, the advent for the 4 guardian angels. And then we see this like chick face start to form out of the faces. And yeah, this big naked chick starts forming. And
maybe the eclipse isn't so bad, Johnny.
I mean, I'm taken, man. But more big demon chicks for you. I'm cool with that. Anything for you, Mikey.
Yeah.
So
I'll settle for a succubus, yeah.
And like, if why pretend and play stupid here? We remember this chick from the beginning. So all of a sudden, this God Hand is that formation of people that we saw in the beginning. And remember, Guts was trying to kill Griffith, and so we're starting to fill in some blanks here, aren't we? Right? So the 4 God Hand members are forming. It's the little short dude. Actually, the 2 little short guys kind of look alike.
Yeah, like when I saw the second one, I'm like, wait, aren't you the? Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, they're
the
different.
And
then we get the Martian from Mars Attacks, dude.
Ack.
Damn, dude.
It's looking good. Squad is here. They're looking strong too. Premium Ack. Thank you. But like we finally get to see, because that's their first time actually seeing them, right? Like obviously, like we've seen
correct, yeah, right.
Yeah,
and they just keep he's like telling them what's going to happen. He's saying that you're
the voice
lambs to the
thrown out.
sacrifice. You are laws of you are
Causality.
honorable child consecrated by the laws of casualty. The hawk.
Isn't it
He's
causality?
the what did I say?
Casualty.
I hate to call me out on my illiteracy, man.
No, they're close enough. I can see why you'd make a mistake.
I'm trying to read quick, skimming over it. So, oh man, this dude's eyes are sewn shut. I didn't even realize that. It's so creepy.
Like I made that comparison before. Like there's sort of like Cenobites more or less. Like these weird like body horror dudes. But yeah, they're talking about how like, all right, here we are. Let's get this going. If you want to become one of us, just say that you're gonna sacrifice people, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, and they all don't understand what's going on, but they're the God Hand are saying that Griffith can become a demon, and that the moment he took possession of the Behelit, he had the qualities to become a demon, and they kind of make Griffith kind of go back over in his mind. Oh my God, look at all this crazy
I mean, because they're like it says they're overcome with despair of the situation that they're in. It's hopeless for them, except for Griffith. It's not hopeless for him. He's getting exactly what he wanted. This is what you signed up for, man, right? And then the next chapter is what is it? It's the one smaller God Hand dude is basically like it felt very much like what is it? Christmas Story. No, not Christmas Story. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, Future.
Oh yeah.
Why am I blanking on that? Jesus.
Scrooge?
Sure. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's that. He's the ghost of Christmas pasting him of like taking him through his past and his dream of. Well, after this one, yeah, like they get put up on the sweet hand altar, which is good looking. But yeah, everybody falls down.
And they're basically saying that everybody is going to be sacrificed for you to become a demon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what you're going to have to do is sacrifice your whole band of the Hawk. And like Mike was just saying, they make him kind of revisit his childhood where he wanted to...
running through the city to get to the castle.
And it didn't matter how many bodies he had to walk over to get there. He was going to get to his kingdom and get his castle however he needed to get there.
Well, at first he was hesitant. Like, he's like... there's the realization that, like, oh crap, these are the bodies of, like, my comrades and my enemies that I've slain to try and, reach the metaphorical castle of his grand dream of, like, becoming, like, the greatest and the fact that, he's killed so many, he has, like, moments of doubt of, like, I can't keep going on, I can't keep doing this. It's like, well, you've come this far, kid, you've already killed these people, like, you're telling me you're going to stop here. You're never going to reach your dream if you don't do it. So, like, why would you stop right here, right now, in this moment? It's like, pushing him forward to continue and, ultimately sacrifice everybody to try and reach that dream that he's been working for his entire life. So, like, why pause now?
And then we see that this, like, person who was, like, pushing him to do that was really one of the God Hand, like, in disguise. But, like, messing with his head, you know what I mean?
But also, like, correct of, like, hey man, you've sacrificed this much so far to get to where you are right now. Like, you're now at the turning point of ascension and, like, actually reaching that dream. Like, don't stop now. Like, just continue. And then the Mars Attacks guy, I believe, is just
that's basically what he's telling him. He's
he's
just like they just keep reiterating like this is what you got to do, man. Like, this gets you where you need to be. This gets you where you want to be.
Yeah, that castle that's in the distance, we're going to give you, these black wings, raven wings to actually reach and fly to that castle. All you have to do is just say the small words of I sacrifice.
And Griffith is climbing up that altar with a knife, like, to get to Griffith to save him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Guts.
Yeah, he makes it up top there. He sees him.
And Griffith, he looks over at Guts, and he has this, like, moment of saying, like, out of the tens of thousands of comrades and enemies, he's the only one to make him forget his dream.
But what's that under that? What is he saying there? No.
No, I know. I'm seeing if he starts it.
No, I don't think he does.
Okay.
It's like we just kind of get it, like, right at the end there.
So he does decide to sacrifice the Band of the Hawk. And Griffith gets consumed by that altar hand.
The hand closes.
Guts gets knocked off. We see the brand of the demon. Or what's it called? Is that it? Brand of the
Brand
demon?
of sacrifice, yeah. And like these threads like whipping through the air and like piercing
Branding
through
everybody,
yeah.
including the one on Guts' neck that we saw when the series opened.
Yep, and they've been marked for sacrifice, which means that all the demons that were waiting in the wings can now descend upon and feast on them. They'll be fine though, right? This chapter's just called The Feast. I'm sure nothing bad will happen, right? It's a lot of demons, Johnny.
Yeah, it's a lot of demons. And there's not that many Band of the Hawk.
No, there's not.
So the demons start descending on the band, and one by one, just start slaughtering, man. They just start tearing the Band of the Hawk apart, and Casca can only watch on in horror as everybody...
This isn't real, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. And, if you're reading all this, I think that's also the part of, like, reading this in a more compact fashion is that, like, this is probably going to hit a lot harder because you just spent 12 volumes
exactly
learning about these characters and
growing,
they're all being slaughtered
like
in front of you.
Yeah, my boy Judeo not looking too good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how far we go with this. I don't want to say any spoilers, which is why I'm kind of being quiet because we're just
this is what we read this book.
Yeah, and Guts is trying to...
He's like hacking through like some membrane where he can kind of see like Griffith through the hand, like like
being like transformed.
Like, I'm gonna save you. I'm gonna save you. The God Hand are saying like, save him. Why would you save him?
Like he chose this.
He doesn't want to be saved. This is what he came here for.
And Guts can see off in the distance, like everybody getting slaughtered, and they're just chanting sacrifice, sacrifice, and he's trying to break through. And yeah, we see Rickert looking on.
Yeah.
And he can see that, like, basically, like, they're stuck in, like, this vortex.
Yeah, because, like, he passed over to the valley where, like, this is where they were, but they're on the inside of, that, like, double vortex. And he sees, Black Knight and Nosferatu Zod.
And that's where we end, man.
Yep.
So... how you feeling, Mike? I think that next chapter we got is going to be... something. How you feeling?
Fronto? That one I don't get. But
oh, that's the name of Griffith.
what is it?
Yeah, that's his like demon name.
Oh. Spoilers. But no, like I don't know, as far as my views on Griffith, like I really like that scene that they had there of, like the hallucination one, like right at the end of like, hey man, like you're trying to reach your goal, right? Like this is what you have to do. Like you've spent your entire life working up to this point. The only right choice is to sacrifice them. And I don't know. Kind of agree. Right?
Kind of agree.
Yeah, like with how ambitious he is, that is the we're getting there, Duraj. Hopefully it's book 5, it's this boat. I want to know about this sweet boat trip that they take. I assume it's like every anime and manga, like they have a like a filler, what is it, like bathhouse scene. I like to think that like the boat arc is them just on like a nice boat tour.
I'm actually not quite sure about this boat thing.
Well, because you haven't read everything, right?
No,
like,
I haven't.
You're like most of the way there, so yeah.
Man, these are the best books ever, dude.
That sounds amazing, Roger. I look forward to that. And I hope you're not just memeing on me. I hope that is like, again, because like I don't really know too much about like the later stuff, especially like I only. Like I said, whenever people talk about like Griffith did nothing wrong, I didn't know what it was in reference to, but obviously it's sacrificing everybody he knew and loved to reach his dream, but also at the same time, like the whole character of Griffith is to be insanely ambitious and do whatever like cutthroat thing you have to do to reach your goal, right? Like, is this too far-fetched?
You're a jerk. I don't know if I want to be your friend. You might just sacrifice me to reach your goals.
I'm just playing God hand advocate here of like obviously it's kind of dickish, but like that is that, and like to a similar degree, like obviously Guts is kind of the foil of like he has his own ambitions and wants to become the greatest through his own means. But obviously he has a heart and like wouldn't do this, and like feels for obviously Casca, but also like the other members of the Band of the Hawk, but like that's in some ways like why Griffith is kind of better, or obviously is peer two in that degree of like he's just willing to do whatever he needs to, so including becoming a demon.
But you think everybody's gonna die?
Well, obviously Guts doesn't. He survives. Like he has, the brand of sacrifice on him, but we see him surviving. But like, as far as everybody gonna die, I mean, if he's able to get out of there, I mean, well, one, he's like basically superhuman, so obviously Guts is gonna survive. But anybody else, like, I assume Casca, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know either, man.
Well, you do, but you're just being
coy,
which
right
is
now.
fine. Yeah, it's understandable. But again, like it leaves me super interested and looking forward to reading Deluxe Edition Volume 5, which I assume is 13, 14, and 15 for the chapters. So.
And that's gonna take me past where I've read, so I'm pretty excited to read that.
Really?
Myself.
Oh, so you? Oh, I thought you were much further.
No, I like literally stopped like shortly after where the show stops in the
Okay.
book. Yeah.
So when you were in the bathroom, I mentioned I know Johnny had read a good chunk. I said you were like probably about like 70% of the way there, but now we're
no.
We're like close to about like 50ish, right?
Of the series?
Yeah, because like I mentioned too, like the projected thing is going to be about like 15 deluxe editions, and like I said, like we're on book 4, so we'll be at like 5 by the time we're caught up with you. So yeah, third of the way there.
It's a good story, man.
Yeah, Raj, we look forward to the boat scene then. Miller hoses. Yeah.
Well, I guess you always saying. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, like I kind of mentioned too when you were in the bathroom, like because he said like oh I didn't expect you to like plow through everything in one sitting. I'm like, yeah, that's the point of the show, but also like it seems like a lot, but I mean it moves at a quick pace and it's enjoyable. Like I said, like sitting and reading it yourself, like probably about the same time it took us to go through and like talk about it, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But no, like it moves at a quick pace, like, and it depends, obviously, I guess to some degree, like how much you want to like stop and smell the roses of like looking at the details in like every fight scene and things like that, because like there's a lot going on, like it's neat. Kintaro put a lot of like detail and all that, but no, I definitely look forward to it. Pastimes after hours, you're not wrong, Bernie. There's a lot of adult situations we found ourselves in, some crude language. Stuff almost happened to Casca multiple times throughout the series.
Yeah, almost is right.
So, but yeah, no, it was a good time. I'm definitely looking forward to book 5. Johnny, any suggestions for next week? I've got one. Raj Raj gave this last time, and then we're like, oh crap, that's right, Berserk. Maybe we'll read that. But tell me if you still follow this, Raj, but you mentioned Last Sheriff of Babylon as an option of a book that you want us to read. I think the thing was, it was Tom King as well.
Why are we reading more Tom King? We just read Tom King. I need a fucking palate cleanser.
Which is why we did Berserk. We had the same exact conversation. Do Sopranos. Raj, I started watching Sopranos like in quarantine too, and like I think I kind of fell off it. Yeah, exactly. Also looking to try to torture Johnny. That's reasonable. Johnny, what is some good anti-Tom King then?
We gotta wait another month for Berserk 5,
Exactly.
so I guess we'll do fucking Tom King.
If we did back to back, that'd be something. Any other suggestions in the chat too, as Johnny and I like stare at each other and like decide, are we doing this? Book 5 back to back?
You kind of need to know what happens.
Yeah, like this is kind of a bummer that it's like right on the cliffhanger here.
What if? Okay.
Hear me out.
What if we read Berserk Book 5 next week, and then we can't even... Oh, no, there is Book 6. It's Book 7. Wait.
Yeah. 4 and 4, 5, and then, yeah, we've got 6 on the shelf. I can see Book 6 from here, Johnny.
Yeah, okay, so we'll read Book 5 next week.
Hell yeah.
Then we'll read Tom King. Then in February, towards the end, we read Book 6.
Yeah. So next week we're going to read...
Here's what we'll do. I got an idea.
Sure, tell me.
How about the week before Book 7 comes out is when we read Book 6? I think it's like the 17th of March or something, or the 31st.
That does sound right, yeah.
It's sometime in the middle of March, like the later half of March.
Okay.
So, I want to know what happens.
I got a little... Johnny, I'm on a cliffhanger here. I'm at the edge of the cliff, and I want to jump. I got to know what's going on down there.
I want to lend you a hand, dude.
I think we've lost the this metaphor a little bit, but point being, I'm down. Johnny, by next Thursday, read book Deluxe Edition Volume 5.
Cinco.
Books 13, 14, and 15.
That's correct.
It's a lot of Berserk.
I'm comfortable with it.
Roger, you comfortable? Well, Roger's read everything. He's saying, I at this point, screw the eclipse. I gotta know about this boat. I gotta know about this boat trip that's happening.
I don't even know about the boat trip.
What if we find out of this boat trip? Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I'm down for that. I'm hearing nothing to the contrary, so I think, yeah. Next Thursday, episode 37, Berserk, back-to-back Berserk, Deluxe Edition, Book 5. Yeah, Roger is strapped in for the ride. Buckle in, strap down, get comfy. It's 1,200 pages of Berserk in like a week and a half, Johnny. That's pretty good. That's a good week.
Yeah, I'm digging it, though. It's kind of what I live for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Secretly, the Comics Corner is the Berserk hour.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
It's a good one to be reading for every back-to-back, so.
All right, let's pull the plug on this. I want to go home.
All right, yeah.
So do you. Maybe. Do you?
Well, if I were to stay here, Johnny. No, no, I gotta go home. I got tomorrow off, man.
Wait, you do?
Yeah.
Friday?
Just taking a day off, man. What are you gonna do? Fight me?
Well, I won't be here neither, so I don't know what they're gonna do. That's what I'm concerned about.
I'm gonna go and read Berserk, apparently. All right, so thanks everybody for coming out and chatting with us. That was Berserk Deluxe Edition. If you want to flip it to the front there, Deluxe Edition Volume 4 by Dark Horse. Center that bad boy. What are you doing, Johnny?
Huh?
It's not that late. Center that bad boy.
Oh wow, Jesus. That was bad. You weren't kidding. All right, here we go.
We will be back next Thursday to talk about Berserk Deluxe Edition Volume 5. Y'all rock. Yeah, no, thank you for coming out, Raj. And also, tune in Tuesday, because it is going to be another previews, reviews. We'll try and...
yeah, it's just hot dog.
We'll probably make a post on Facebook, Instagram, wherever. Follow us on pastimes.net/social. You can get us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, for when we go live next. But I think we'll probably put up a reminder, beforehand that we're going to be doing the previews, reviews, where we talk about what comes out in the previews catalog. So if you want to keep an eye out for future Berserk volumes, we haven't seen it there for a while, but if we see it, we'll let you know. We'll yell.
I am quite confident Volume 8 will be in here.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
Take your bets now. But yeah, we'll be doing on Tuesday the previews, reviews. But until then, I hope everybody has a good rest of your week. Watch out for eclipses, and remember, not all heroes wear capes.